All right, the time has come. The great man, Connor West, has made his way from the weights room, looking swole, but he's wearing a 50-cent baggy shirt. We can't really notice it here. Great man, welcome.
Thanks for having me, boys.
How are you, mate?
I'm
good
very
day?
Good. Yeah, no, it's been good. Just finished uppers and legs, so...
Busy week, mate. Talk me through it. You had probably a career best game on the weekend, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, we didn't get the win, which is disappointing, but yeah, I guess of my own performance, it was probably a bit of growth there for myself, so yeah.
First ever podcast, great man?
Yep. Yeah, no, it is. First podcast at the club. So.
Probably not the one you really wanted to aspire to for the debut, though.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Bit of respect, mate.
That's a fair point. Westy, what I want to talk about, because it's your first time here, you won't do this every year, but let's go back in terms of journey of Westy and talk some upbringing. And
are we saying he's going to be a formality every year? We're penning him into the podcast.
Performance pending, but we've at least got a tease to him that there's a chance.
There is a bit of pressure that you go well here.
Yeah, don't blow it. But let's talk, rudimentary stuff to start with. Junior footy, where was that at?
Junior Kinross Jets, shout out.
Oh, that's classic. I had a fan question on the subject of that said...
How were the Junior Kinross Jets?
Yeah, give me some up. It was from Will Hewitt. Thoughts on Junior Kinross season so far?
Oh, gosh.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, terrible.
Sorry, Will.
Yeah. So were you a gun there or were you just an average battler at the time?
I'm probably... Yeah, a bit of an average battler.
Do you want me to give you the honest opinion?
Of course. Well, if he's not going to tell me.
Once again, you're burying the lead. So Westy and I grew up basically together. From the age of 13, we played in the same waffle team together.
Yep.
So we did all of our development together. So we did 14s, 15s, 16s and Colts together and played 18s together. And he was a Jet. But you didn't play 14s, did you? What happened? You had a sore knee, didn't you?
Yeah, so I guess when I got to the development squads, I sort of had a lot of growing issues.
As in you couldn't or what?
Yeah, just couldn't.
It was growing too much. You used to be way taller than me.
Well, I started off as like probably, it was kick days. I was like a key forward.
Wow.
And then everyone else caught up. The odd growth spurts. Then I shrunk back down to being real small and skinny.
Do you miss it? Miss kicking bags?
Yeah, I do. I can't do it now.
Wow.
But obviously come development squads, 14s, I just couldn't really get my body right. I had a lot of, Osgood Slatters, I think it's called, in the knee and Sever's disease. And just, couldn't get going. And then 15s, 16s, sort of got back out playing and was playing okay, but nothing like, no real good footy, no state selections or anything
We
like
were
that.
both battlers. Like none of us, we were nowhere near getting into state 16s, 18s. We were nowhere.
We were lucky to get a game at...
Yeah, like we were playing like 16s footy and we're like, man, this is awesome. Like this is the peak. Well, me anyway, I was thinking that was the peak. But your old man, like obviously played, for those who don't know, he played AFL for West Coast. And it was always a thing like growing up. And I'm not sure if you felt it, and it probably wasn't said to your face, but everyone would always say like his old man played AFL. And instantly, like me, just being my old man.
You're like, I want to be friends with him now.
Never played footy. Yeah, I was like, I want to be friends with him and like he must be a gun. Was that ever something that was like you ever dealt with or spoke to you about? And obviously he's a West Perth legend.
Yeah.
So we both played at West Perth and he won a Sandover and one of their great players. Was that something you ever felt growing up?
Not really growing up. Like looking back now, I definitely can say it. Probably at the time I didn't really think about it too much because, you don't really want to think about that and not that my old man put any pressure on me or my family, which is good. But looking back, I think people probably looking from the outside are like, oh, his old man played AFL. He's, he should be good. And then, I guess it just puts that pressure on you to perform way better than other kids when, at the end of the day,
just normal kid.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just a kid the same as anyone else. So,
did he have heavy involvement in like the junior coaching? Because like I've got a tremendous amount of pressure to coach my kid, and he's 6, and they're like, "Oh, you've played before. Can you coach? Your dad's an AFL player. Surely was he coerced into like, can you come and do it for a while?"
Yeah, I think early on he did, but then I guess as the older I got, my dad's a bit quieter and sort of just stood back and he'd always just do the running. He just loved doing the running and he'd always go out and just try and give little insiders to some of the boys. And
not just wanted to get his anger out there and just cook some kids. Nah. So this is not venting. I don't need to pay for therapy. I'm just going to go out and bake some 12-year-olds,
14-year-olds. Yeah.
Well, he actually used to get told off all the time by the umpires for talking too much on the field, and it got to the point where like he almost wasn't allowed to do it anymore. But
okay,
that reminds me of my dad. So you know my dad pretty well,
and
he's like, so my older brother played Colts and he was 2 years above Westy and I. So our first year, you played with him a year as well. Yeah, we both played with him. And he's far better than me. Like Westy will agree, like far better than me. Like so talented. And and he broke his leg pretty badly, and he never really recovered from that. But he was super critical of my brother because I think he was highly talented. And when you finish 16s, you go and train with the Colts team. And we couldn't get a game for this Colts team, so we were just training Monday to Friday and going and playing like club footy.
Yeah.
So we played against each other, and you knocked me off in a grand final. And this shows how average I was. I was playing half a game in a year 10 grand final because I couldn't get picked to play a full game at club footy. Not even West Perth. I wasn't even getting a full game at club footy. And your team, with all the boys that end up playing at West Perth, knocked me off.
There's a little bit more to that.
Go on.
So the start of the year, Aussie actually had to make a decision which team he wanted to play for. And it was either Joondalup,
Which all my West Perth friends played for.
which is where he was going to play the next 4 to 5 years through Colts footy, or it was with his schoolmates
At Serena Duncraig.
who are arch rivals with West Perth.
And they all play for Subiaco.
Right.
Yeah. So
Basically, West
obviously,
Perth versus Subi.
yeah.
Were you
And,
playing them off between each other, or?
Well, no, I think if I can think correctly, like we didn't do a full preseason for like 16s and stuff. So it was like you'd be messaging me on Facebook or whatever, and we'd say, "Come play with me." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, all right, I will." And then I'd go see the guys at school, and like you're with them every day. And I was like, "Man, I'm spending way more time with these guys." Little did I know that like we would play Colts footy and spend basically all of my teenage years just hanging out with the West Perth boys.
Yeah. And you missed out on 3 premierships.
Yeah,
so.
missed out on 3, and you guys, we were up by 5 goals with 5 minutes to go, and you got, no, it wasn't that, it was a couple goals
And we came back.
came back and knocked us off.
Shed some tears, Oz?
Well, I was barely a part of the
From the
game,
bench.
mate, yeah. I was actually a genuine bum, and, and that is why I respect bums so much.
Were you there? Were you a part of it or there watching his? Well, no, you were with the Eagles in 2018, right? For Westie's waffle debut. Did you go out there and watch him? What's happening there in 2018 for round 4 against the Black Ducks?
I made my East Perth debut in round 4.
Right.
So I'd had injury, so I had stressies.
Yeah.
But before we talk about Westie's debut, I might just jump back.
Go on.
So you and me played state footy together.
Yeah.
And I reckon, and I know you feel the same, you don't have to say it, you were stiffed. So early on, you didn't get to. We played Colts footy together. You probably had a more consistent year than me in our Colts year, like a draft year.
Yeah.
I think I was just like a bit bigger and like key position play. Like this guy's going to play, and midfielders dime a dozen, I guess, if you do say. So there was more guys in the squad. And the first game, I kicked the first goal against South Australia.
Yeah.
And it was a draw, and I kicked a point after the game, and you had to be the runner because you were the first emergency.
Yeah.
And then you pretty much played all the other 18 games after that.
Yeah.
And didn't get drafted.
Yep.
Talk to me through that.
Yeah, so that was obviously started the year really well in Colts. The year before, didn't really get out in my underage year, and then sort of strung together like 4 games towards the end of the year and got my name into the state squad for the preseason, which was pretty cool. And then, went down, trained. Wasn't really much over the preseason. They had like a squad of 50. So I was like, my name's probably, I'm in the mix. And then, so I just went to the start of the season.
We used to drive in my old Golf.
Yeah. Just trying to play consistent footy. And sort of that underdog mentality. I guess there was a lot of guys that you heard of who were going to be the next, big thing. And I was like, look, if I can just play consistently and try and, and just win games for West Perth, because the Colts have been for the last 10 years at West Perth. And we started really well. I was probably playing like pretty good. I was in good form.
You're our best player.
Yeah, we were 4-0, I think. And come the round 7 when the state team got announced, I got selected, which was pretty cool. A few people probably weren't really expecting it. And then, obviously the carnival came around, and I sort of probably got ahead of myself, I think. We're going all right. I was in okay form, and then, first emergency, and that kind of was a bit of a slap in the face.
Is that left field, seemingly, really? Who are these other mids that are getting picked ahead of him at the time?
So Matt Young played, and he kicked the winning point.
Yep.
Christian Amajuri played.
Yep.
Jake Patmore played.
Yeah. So, like, good players, I must admit. They were probably ahead of me at the time.
AFL lists. Yeah.
Like, bigger bodies, probably.
Kyron Hayden, who's playing at North Melbourne.
So, like, good players, but obviously, you want to be up there and you think you're good when you get to that team.
Of course.
Yeah, and then, so that was, obviously pretty tough at the time, but just, went back, played for West Perth again, had a pretty good game, and then got selected for the next week. And then, played the last 3 games of the carnival, which was pretty cool. And then, probably not my best footy though, sort of was out of position a bit. Just
not playing mid.
Playing graveyard, high half forward.
Yeah, high half forward, wing, sort of positions that I hadn't been playing.
Of course.
But it was good because, I learned a lot from it, and then went back, played a bit of senior footy for West Perth in the reserves, and sort of knew that this wasn't my year. And that was also tough. But my mindset was just like, what can I take from this? Build into like have a good preseason and try and play league footy the following year. And West Perth's league team was like pretty good.
elite, yeah.
They were like been in the finals the last 5 years. So
this is 2017 that
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah,
about. So where did they finish in 2017?
I think they finished third or fourth.
Yeah, they lost the
Swans.
prelim against
Or South or something.
we lost prelim against Claremont.
Yeah, that's right.
And because I played 2 games league and then got dropped. And then you and me played the last.
We statted up.
So the last game of the year, I've come back to Colts, and I played a bit of reserves footy with my brother, and I played a bit of reserves footy with you.
Yeah.
And then
To be fair, we much rather play Colts because it's just a bit more enjoyable.
Because you're mad dogging it and you're superior to the oppo as well.
and it was like
It was a choice, I'm
and,
pretty sure.
And Colts as well, like
like-
whether guys get drafted or not. Like it's probably the last time I'm playing with a lot of these guys because a lot of guys like I'm not going to go and play reserves footy.
Yeah.
Is it 3 years now for Waffle Colts that you can play? Or is it 2?
Yeah, it depends how good you are. I guess as a 16-year-old.
Okay.
There's a lot of good 16-year-olds
So they play
nowadays,
3.
So they
But
come up.
We suck, so we played 2.
Good train-ons.
And I remember going to the Colts coach, Sass, who's a really good fella, and I said, mate, can I play midfield and just try and get as much of it? Because Claremont were like the best Waffle Colt side.
Yeah.
And I just
Did this matter at all in the scheme of where the Colts were finishing? Like,
No,
did
no,
the coach actually need to win this game? And you're like, hey, can I just go be a baller and
we
collect
weren't
it?
playing finals.
All right.
So it was like, can we, me and Westy just play midfield together and just like,
Well, remember we had the choice.
Yeah.
It was like you can play reserves and, like keep building on your form there, or your last year of Colts, you can come back, finish on a
Play
high,
with the guys for the
try and
last
beat the
time.
top team, play with the boys.
Little farewell to him.
And I actually got to be captain that game too.
You were so I was
And
normally the
I
captain.
stuffed the speech up.
And then Westy took over as a captain. So I was a captain, but then when I wasn't there and you were there, you would do it all the time.
Yeah.
And then I remember coming back and I was like, sweet, like captain this week. And then I was like, no, Westy's captain now. So, what do you mean he's a captain now?
He wanted to come in and just, play inside mid, try and take my spot.
Anyway,
I was like, no way.
Anyway, Westy had 40. I had 35. We combined for 20 tackles, 20 marks, and 3 goals.
And we lost by 80 bucks.
And we lost by 85. So we both just absolutely filled our pockets, but did not do anything to help the team win.
Wow. Okay. So then nominated for 2018, or was nominated for 2017?
Still nominated, thought why not.
Do you still get spoken to by clubs at that point, or because you're such a low, maybe I'll snag a rookie deal, there's no conversation?
Start of the year I did. I spoke to only 3 clubs, and that was a bit of a long shot. I was like, okay. I just thought, cool, I hadn't had that before, so I thought maybe, I'm a chance back then. But then as I went on, I realised that more players were talking to clubs throughout the year, and I sort of then realised, I haven't really spoken to anyone. So, it's probably not my year. And then, still nominated, I was like, why not? And then, mainly focusing on just having a good pre-season and trying to play league footy at West Perth for the following year.
So in the end, 3 seasons at West Perth in total. How do you reflect on the club now, Westy?
Love my time. We've got a great culture down there. I think all the coaches, even some of the older boys, like the way they're guiding us younger boys coming through, it's it's a credit to the club. And I think with a lot, like we haven't had a lot of AFL experience in terms of like retired players or players coming back other than this year. And I think, to finish top 3 for even when I was the 4 years I was there, it just shows, I think, that underdog mentality as a team that we had. And we were able to play good footy. We just couldn't quite, match it with Subi and South, which is a bit disappointing. But
One of the fan questions was from Jay Jaden. He said, who from West Perth do you think got robbed of not being drafted over the time you were there, maybe?
I reckon we'll have a similar answer.
I've probably got 2. It's probably split. Either Luke Meadows or Noah Pecoraro. They're probably my 2.
So Luke Meadows, a former North Beach boy, pulled me up on the plane when I was half, looking at the back of my eyeballs. And he's like, you play at North Beach, don't you? I had no idea who this guy was. Nice as pie. And he was travelling over to be an emergency for the North game.
Luke Meadows is one of the best fellas and most underrated footballers going around. I used to play halfback flank and killed it. Went over to went over to Hawthorn to train with them and ended up not getting picked up in the SSP, the first official SSP. Yeah. And they took the ruckman Ned Reeves, and then he played at Box Hill the last couple of years, and he's back at West Perth. He's such a gun.
How's his year been this year?
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Playing
played in the state game.
Yeah, played in the state game. Played half back though, so that's unfortunately for him. He can play everywhere. So like when it
Blessing
comes to
and a curse, yeah.
well, it's actually it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So his main role is probably inside at the moment, but he got pushed to halfback in that, but still played all right.
In 2018, so you played. We'll get on after this question. We played against each other. So obviously West Perth and East Perth, arse rivals. I get drafted, and West Coast are a really good side. 2018, I'm obviously not going to play, so I play at East Perth, and I play you guys at Leaderville Oval. And I remember taking a little dangle on you in a forward pocket and kicking a goal.
Bang.
And then I remember playing on Jake Turner, one of our good friends, Zach Turner.
Yeah.
We played Colts with him and grew up with him, his older brother.
Yeah.
And Jake had never kicked a goal.
It was his first league game.
It was his first league game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should have a good day. And played all right. Got picked the next week to make my AFL, play my second game at AFL at centre half forward. But I remember giving away a free kick on the wing and like him lipping off to me, and I've said some gestures and did some things.
You gone
like,
full Luke Parker, have you?
Yeah, at him. And like one of your good mates' older brothers is like, you know what I'm going to say? And then give away the 50. He kicks a goal from that 50. They all mob him, and I just remember like sinking into my seat, like all the West Perth people just abusing at me, like, you look so bad, and East Perth, come back to West Perth, you'll be back here in 2 years anyway. And I was like, man, like, this sucks. I remember playing against you then. That was probably the last time we played against each other.
Yeah, I reckon it was too.
Yeah.
That's mint.
So
it's the most fascinating part for me is the mid-season change of waffle clubs when you're just used to the four walls of of West Perth, and obviously you're nominating to be a part of this, and then all of a sudden you're playing for West Perth a week ago, and now it's meeting a whole bunch of new punters, and you're like, right, I've swapped. What was it feeling like for yourself? How were West Perth handling the situation? Talk me through that first game for West Coast that you've absolutely chopped it up in.
And did you read the cues that myself and Josh Rotham, fellow West Perth players, both sent you a message 12 hours before the draft?
Yeah, it was, that whole week was just such a strange week. Even so obviously I played the state game a couple of weeks before, was in okay form, but no idea that I was even getting considered, looked at. And then, had a few missed calls from Toddy Nisbet, the recruiter, or whatever his role is.
Just blocking them early, were you?
And then I was at work and I was like, I just thought, it's like some scam. And then it kept ringing and I was like, they probably wouldn't ring this. So I answered it, and then, he was like, can we catch up? I think I've already said this before, but I was like, I'm free Thursday, but the mid-season draft was Wednesday. He's like, ideally we need you in before Wednesday, mate. And I was like, that's it.
Did you twig then?
Start.
Did you twig?
Well, I was like, all right, I can catch you. And the only day that fitted in with uni and work was Wednesday, and it was like Wednesday lunchtime, and the draft was that night, or like in the hour. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm close, but not close if they're pushing, I'm sitting in that at lunchtime. There's only a couple of hours before.
Caught up happened so quick.
Yeah, came in, did the medical and everything, caught up with him, was real general chat, was expecting all these hard questions, but it was just like nothing what I expected. And then went home, and then obviously put the laptop on and got picked up. I think
because it was the second pick, wasn't it? So who was the first pick? Because obviously you've had a chat with West Coast and they've picked the first pick, and you've probably just gone up, right,
I'm done.
I'm over it.
I'm done.
Well, I heard there was three. I think it was I don't know if Clarkey, I thought they were going to take Clarkey.
Yeah, me too.
That
I thought they were going to take you and Clarkey, because I don't know if I told you, I had strong mail you were getting drafted. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Who's telling you stuff?
Well, I think I did get a message.
I've got the insight. No, I remember seeing the head physio, and he was like, "Oh, you got to get out of here." I was a day off, and he was like, "A couple of guys coming for the mid-season draft," and I was like, "Oh yeah, who are they?" And he's like, "Don't tell anyone." Da 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 da. And I remember going in and asking Voz, who was the head of Footy Jam at the time. I was like, "We drafting so and so." Like, grew up with him. Like, he's a really good player, and he was like, how do you know about this? And I was like, oh, mate, don't know. And then you just tell, like, you read the tea leaves and then, like, messaged you.
Yeah. Well, that was Rothy. The other, I suppose I got a message from Rothy and Aussie, and they just, I can't remember what exactly.
I think I just sent you an eyes emoji.
Yeah, the eyes emoji. That's what I was going to say. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'm a chance.
I hope I didn't ruin it for you.
No, you didn't. Well, you know what it's like when you get drafted.
Yeah, you don't know
until your name gets actually called out.
Yep.
So then you obviously get picked up.
And that was the Wednesday, and then straight into main training the next day.
What were you working as before all this catastrophe?
So I worked at Nudeco, which is like
what?
Right.
Nudeco. Yeah,
makes sense.
It's basically like a
bit of a rig,
sink basin.
It's not what I thought it was going to be.
It was nude. It's like a concrete furniture company. So I was like
Sounds like something I can't type in my work computer to verify.
Yeah.
if anyone wants any sync bases, let me know.
There you
'cause I
go, that's a
can
good
get
plug.
you some discount.
So
But no, it's a great company and great blokes that run that, and they were
Happy for you to just check off.
Yeah, no, they're like so happy for me.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, so you check them. You're in the club next day.
Yep.
What was that feeling like?
Yeah, it was probably a bit surreal. I was probably like just pinching myself all day. Like it was good to see Oz. I knew a few boys, which definitely helped settle the nerves a bit. But I guess we just went out and trained, and I was just like, oh, perfect. Like it wasn't that awkward. You could just kick the footy around with the boys, and then found out that I was playing for the Eagles on the Saturday in the Waffle, and then West Perth were really good about it. They sort of just like let me go, and they're obviously like, this is like your dream. So
how did you mentally kind of approach that game? Was it I know you're kind of telling yourself just play your natural game and whatnot, but you now know you're more of showcasing what you can offer. It's a little bit of a different mentality if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
How'd you mentally go into it?
Well, the club was really good about it. They didn't put any pressure. They sort of said just go out and play. They didn't like bombard you with the game plan and what we do, and didn't really confuse us, or me and Will, which was really good. I think they just said, go out and just play on instinct, and then everything else will come as the weeks to go, with the weeks to come. And then so basically went out, but I wasn't used to this rotation. So like
you blew up.
Yeah. So like I started and I'm expecting like West Perth, your 5-minute rotations, everyone's fighting to get on the field, and you're fighting against the other 6 mids trying to like get a spot, whereas you come down to the Waffle Eagles and it's like, nah, you're the main man. Like you just play 20 minutes. And I was just like, first quarter, I was blowing. But I was like, this is great. This is like, I'm just playing 20 minutes of footy here. Like, nice sunny day. But yeah, it didn't work out too well by the last quarter.
We were playing Claremont and they were one of the best sides, and we weren't that great. And you were taking the PI 5. So look at your stats here. You had 29, 21 kicks. You kicked a goal, 8 handballs, 6 marks, 7 tackles.
It's a fair day.
You had 14 at quarter time.
Yeah.
And I have good authority. I was sitting on the bench and all the coaches sit in the crowd, and I just looked at like the coaching staff and I just went and gave them a nod. I was like, this guy's got it. And your emergency the next week, but you were flying, and I remember seeing your mum after the game and I was like, yeah, he was so good today. She's like, yeah, like, he cramped up late and only had 2 touches in the last quarter. Like he had 27 at 3/4 time. You were good that day. I reckon that day a lot of guys like, oh yeah, like a lot of young midfielders started getting quaky in their boots. Like, this guy's actually really good. And then we go to your AFL debut, which was at Adelaide Oval. I reckon one of the best like grounds after Optus.
Is this your glory game?
No, I played like this game.
Okay. Talk us through the debut, Westy. What's going through the head? How were you told? Any interesting stories that came from, was it Adelaide Oval?
Yeah, Adelaide Oval, yeah.
So first travel ever?
Yeah, first travel. First time actually in the like squad, I guess, to travel, which was cool. I didn't really have any experience, but I think, first game, you're so excited. So your nerves, whatever it is, you just, everything you do leading up to it, you feel fine, I guess.
Was Nick Nat stealing a bit of your thunder, perhaps?
No, I reckon I was trying to pass it off to him more, like, if anything, because it was his 200th game. So I was like, it's only my first game. Like, you've been a hero for this club for the last however long. And credit to him. He sort of made it more about myself, which I obviously didn't really want. But I think it just shows the character he is.
Who presented the jumper?
I reckon it might have been Simo.
I think it was Simo.
Yeah, I think it was Simo.
I was
obviously meant a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it
meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
We won.
I was probably I think I was still pinching myself. I can't even remember, to be honest.
Yeah. And
what happened? I blacked out.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, you kick your first goal.
Yes.
In the Lightning game against Melbourne.
Yep.
And I actually saw that the other day, because when we come up and play teams, it's like last time you played him.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was looking at it. And that last goal, I hate to say, you burnt me for a little handball there, man.
It was actually TK's kick.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's what it was.
That's true. That's true.
So I didn't hear the whistle, so like I did feel bad for stealing his free kick. But then I was like, if I don't kick it this game, then I'm like, pressure's now on for the next one, and then it keeps going.
Were you just thinking to yourself how unreal this is that I'm playing in this game where we're going inside and warming up for 30 minutes? Like, it's pretty unbelievable. You have blokes play 300 games that'll never experience something like that.
Yeah, it was actually a strange night. And it was a Monday night too, which was even weirder. But it was... I didn't even know what was happening. All of a sudden, they just called us off, and apparently there was heaps of lightning around. But You couldn't even see it. No. That was the thing.
All right. Enough on you. We got some other things to touch on quickly. Cal Jamison.
Yeah.
Big couple weeks for him.
Massive.
Massive.
Media spotlight today.
Yep.
So you can go check out his press conference and rate his performance, talking to the media. It's daunting up there.
It is.
Have you had a crack at it yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not
He
sure.
was he was himself yesterday though.
Really?
So I think he would have gone all right though.
I'm not sure what's more daunting, a press conference or knowing that you're rucking against Max Gorman and Luke Jackson. Any second game is a ruck, third game in total.
Best ruck tandem in the competition, Oz.
And I was impressed with how he went. And yeah, they are 100% the best ruck tandem, and just his competitiveness. But I think the first thing you look for as a player, a fellow player, or as a coaching staff is someone that's competitive and just wants to give everything out there. And I reckon it probably endears yourself to the fans as well. Yeah, I've been really impressed with how he's gone the last couple of weeks.
Did you know where the big fella was on the weekend as well for the game?
No, I don't.
He made the big time. He was in the coach's box.
Were you?
In Simo's seat.
Because Simo
Really? He was on the bench.
Simo was down on the bench.
Yeah,
So
because I started on the bench and I was like, Simo's here.
yeah,
I was like, wow.
How weird is that
I know.
feeling when you sit
And you're like-
you come to the bench and you just like knackered and you just tap some shot. How you feeling?
Oh, really good, really good.
Good. How you going?
Don't act tired, don't act
yeah.
So what were your responsibilities up there, Oz? What did you honestly do?
Very little. Nah, I did a little bit. The only thing I was
Let
actually
me guess, you were in control between quarters 2 and 3, and
yeah,
then
when
you stepped out?
things were going well, I was
Yeah,
going well.
cool.
No, it was interesting. Like, it's more conversational than I thought it would be, and it's not about individuals. It's more about collective, how we're going as a side, trends of the game, what structures, what levers can you pull, which I found interesting. Like sometimes they threw to me and said, "What are you thinking? What's happening right now?" And I just gave like an honest opinion. And Matthew Knights is, I love Nida, and like the way he thinks about the game, Westy, and I feel like if you can read him well enough, you give him the answer and you know exactly what he's looking for when he asks you a question. So
You didn't get caught out looking at some Dream Team scores. I mean, sorry, what was that, Nida?
no, well, no phones allowed up there. So I got up there and phone was under lock and key. So, but there were flat whites waiting when I got up there, which was very enjoyable.
What's the deal with the phones? How many phones are up there, and who's on the other end of the phones when you want to talk to someone?
So let's say Simo's in the box. So the head coach is normally in the box. We'll just do it like that because it makes it easier. So Simo's has got the main phone and his phone goes down to Warren Coford, who's the head S&C, and they have constant communication, and every line coach has a phone that goes directly down to someone else down there who is individual. So there's always going to be a forward, a mid and a back on the bench, and the forward line coach is generally talking to the forward or back line coach talking to the back, and it's not just about their performance but what we need to do as a line to get better. And probably the older you are, I don't reckon you will have experienced it because you haven't played enough AFL footy yet. But the more experienced you are, sometimes they will just give you the phone and say, "What do you reckon? Like, how does it feel out there?" And you're probably more giving them feedback on because you're out there, like you're experiencing the game. And sometimes it's even Simo that asks you that, which you get really squeaky bum time when he asks you how's it going out there. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's just conversational. Like you just got to get some more feedback because they don't know everything that's going on. And like when you're out there, you don't know, oh, we're losing contested ball by 5 this quarter. We've got to, like, you just don't know that.
Yeah.
Do you have a hand in the coaches' votes?
No, I wish I did, but certainly did not.
Just checking.
Connor West. How many did Westy get?
Well, he had career best, so he had I got the numbers here. 29 touches. My God, that's a lot of touches. He had 7 tackles. Jeez, his fantasy score's doing a bit. How many Instagram? What's your handle?
Oh, as in my
Instagram.
I don't even know.
You don't? Do you have one?
Yeah, I got Insta, but
And you just don't know your name.
it's just Connor.West.
There you go.
Double T, I think.
Go follow him, guys.
Yeah, you haven't been hit up by punters saying great Dream Team score because that seems to be all. Clarkey was inundated with texts around his ultimate footy score.
Yeah, I'm not too much across the DT, so
But you don't have to be. It's the nuff pots that are hitting
I
up
haven't really
about.
looked. I need to look at the messages, I guess.
He's got a few
Requests.
people on hold then, it seems.
Just for reference, for the game on the weekend,
You and Witho were in deep fantasy talk when I went past you in the medical room yesterday.
we do love fantasy talk. I've got shocking news. Unfortunately, there was only one coach's vote given to a West Coast player in entirety, and that was to Tim Kelly. So stiff, but
So who's your 3-2-1 from the game?
for West Coast,
Obviously.
I'll give 3 to Westy. I think so. We talked about this last year,
Mate, Tim Kelly's had a lot of touches.
He has, but we've talked about this last year. There's a certain level of, I don't want to say expectation, but how much above...
You're not grading on a curve here. This is just never seen him, you know.
I know I'm not. I just thought Westie's impact was really important.
You
for
got the
us.
rose-coloured glasses on.
So
here,
I
mate.
give Westie 3. I'll give TK 2.
You can't give him all 6. Yeah.
And 1 I give to Jermaine Jones. I've loved the way JJ's playing, and I think we can transition this into a bit of JJ chat. I love the impact he has, and he's one of those guys that's like had to change a role quite significantly, and he's done it terrifically.
Yep.
Interesting your thoughts playing with him?
Yeah, no, I love him off the halfback. Well, I loved him forward as well, but just the energy and the spark he brings off that back flank, sort of just even his tackle pressure. Some of his tackles are like the best I've ever seen, and just get you going.
Well, looking at the injury list, or besides from Bunga coming back, because Coley's coming back, I wonder if Jermaine can remain there for a fair bit of time. If he keeps playing like he is, I reckon he's a fair chance.
What's your space?
How bad are we at milestone games at the moment, though? I know West Coast are in some areas in terms of season 2022.
Yeah.
But like another loss, Reddo, cheers.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about the game yet, have we?
Not really. I mean, we did, but I forgot to press record about an hour ago when you and I were talking. So this is take 2. We didn't tell Westy that.
So
Thumper!
well done.
Yeah.
So
Only been here 14 years.
So I'll just repeat what I said earlier about an hour ago. So we went down by 70 points, and it's a tough one because you want to be glass half full because the effort the last 2 weeks have been awesome. Like the effort and intent. And I think structurally we've been a lot better as well and way more compliant. I think the difference is between the sides we're playing at the moment, the last 2 weeks, probably the 2 best sides in the competition, it's not the big things, it's the little things. So the simple fundamentals of the game.
Yeah.
When we don't get them right, they score against us heavily, and we're not at the stage of cohesion in the side and connection where they make a mistake and bang, we're scoring and making them pay the other way. I think that's probably the marginal gain for us to be able to make the most out of our momentum and be able to halt theirs at times because first and fourth quarter, they obviously dominated us on the scoreboard and on the field. But I thought the second and third quarter, we were really competitive and gave them a red-hot crack.
Is that how you saw it out there, Westy?
Yeah, no, I think that's, you're spot on there. I think we just got to, the more we play together, the more connection we can get between the players and each line, and the better off we'll be.
And that was one of the youngest sides we've played in a long time too.
Yeah.
Youngest in 8 years, I think.
Oh, you got 24 players to pick from. We're in unbelievable areas right now. And we'll get to Waffle Watch in a minute.
Nashi, the only one standing.
Last man, hey?
I love him.
First time we've had not one player playing all 9 games.
Well, to round 9 in AFL history.
in AFL history.
Wow.
But then Nashi came in as a sub and just completely ruined that one. So we'll see how long that goes for.
Should we talk about the waffle?
In a minute. How's this for a stat, though? So Brent Harvey, milestone games. You know this record?
No, I don't.
So, like...
He had a few of them. He played a little bit of footy.
Yeah, he did. So he's won every one of his milestone games in his entire career.
What, 51, 152?
All of the 50, milestone checkpoints. He won his 312th game, which was the most ever for North, and then 427th most in the AFL.
And he won his last game.
Won them all.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should take a leaf out of his book.
Yeah, I'll give him a call. See what tips he's got for us. All right, Waffle Watch, courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better. What's your Hungry Jack's order when you're in off-season? Maybe a little bit hung daddy, driving past Sunday morning.
You're an elite athlete, mate. You don't.
I haven't had it in a while. Probably the Bacon Deluxe, I reckon.
Big time.
Yeah, Bacon Deluxe.
Yeah,
cracker.
OG.
I think that's the winner.
Yep.
So the Sharks just snuck over the line, 123 points. What do you know about Josh Burke? He kicked a couple of goals for us.
Not a lot.
Well, I asked Oz about an hour ago.
Berkey.
Yeah.
My man Berkey.
You don't know his nickname's Berkey.
Berkey was good on the weekend. I mean, he kicked a couple. You're burying the lead here, Thump.
Which is? I buried it in the other episode
You buried it twice.
Yeah, I've done it twice.
You've buried a lot today. That unseen footage was cracking too.
Yep.
We had a couple of late outs through illness. I'm not sure if you know this, but we fielded 2 East Freo players on the weekend in our Waffle side.
I did hear about
So
this,
one of them was a younger Colts player from all reports, and obviously they don't have reserves or Colts playing because we just have a league side, and they were supposed to be having a bye because our other game was canned because we didn't have any players, and long and behold, we don't have any players. Mm-hmm. So he's come in. I think another guy was an emergency, and it was his birthday. I read this in the paper the other day.
Happy birthday, 123 points.
And he was thinking, I'm making my phone calls. Bill Monahan, our old West Perth coach, coaching these free, and he's thinking, oh my God, I am making my debut on my birthday. How good's this? And he goes, yeah. And it's like, mate, you're making your debut for West Coast. It's probably not the birthday wish he was intending, but yeah.
Wouldn't have thought. So it was 3 West Coast Eagles players that took the field. It was Brady Hoff, Rhett Bazzo and Zane True, who's his second game back from injury as well.
Got it right this time.
Yeah, I got it right. I had a couple of goes at it. But it'll be interesting whether they have enough players to go ahead this week against West Perth, because you lose a couple. You're going to lose Luke Foley. How's he around the club at the moment? You seen him?
He came in today, seems in
saw
good
him this morning.
spirits.
Handy.
Yeah.
And that's a stiff one for, what was it, Chandler, that cops 2 weeks for that.
So, Westy, I want
He got 2
your
weeks.
opinion. He got 2 weeks. Liam's bump got 1.
Oh, look, I don't really see
Yes, good
Good
answer.
answer.
Good answer.
either, but
Yeah.
I guess, if they're going off, their head knocks and concussions, I think, I guess that's just...
The point Aussie raised was if Jake Bowie has a broken jaw or he's concussed, then Liam's probably going for a few more.
Yeah.
And
I think it's all outcome. Like, really,
sadly,
it's all
but it
outcome.
shouldn't be. Also, it's sad that it is.
Well, you just got to deal with what we're given, and that's kind of where we are as players. And it's a tough line to draw because this Chandler's come on as a sub. He's probably thinking, I've got to make the most of my opportunity here. Someone's going down injured. I'm going to be real aggressive. And then first tackle,
Thought it was a good tackle.
a good tackle, and just unfortunately, Foles' head hits the ground. And
It's a hard surface.
he's going flat stick towards the goal. It's hard for him to really do much. And crazy scenes by Samo going, I'll take the kick from 40 out. Actually, no, Gov, you kick it from 55 and pops it through.
Gov's record for getting handball receives outside the 50 and having pot shots isn't brilliant. I love Gov. Probably leading our club champ award. Love him.
I'd take
Terrible
away
at
the-
that stat.
I'd take away the probably, I reckon.
Yep. Yeah, probably. But he missed a couple of games, didn't he?
He did, but don't think it matters. He's a gun.
That's a fair point.
Nation might win it.
All right. So
We've got a couple of questions for
yeah,
Westy.
let's go there. Yeah, let's go to Westy. Yeah, you want to kick it off? So the whole point of this was getting fans to know Westy a bit more because obviously he doesn't know his own Instagram handle. He's not putting much stuff out there for the fans. All you see is his hard-nosed, extreme hair flowing out on ground. You're like, well, what's he like? Can he talk? Is he a mute? Is he funny? Is he a bit of a
Larrikin, if you
tough
will.
hang? Who knows?
I reckon the first question I know the answer to, which ex-Eagle do you want to bring back to the club as a teammate?
Ex-Eagle.
Because obviously you grew up Eagle supporter.
Yeah, probably...
Is he going to be your dad?
No, it actually wasn't.
That wasn't who I was thinking.
Yeah, who are you thinking?
Ben Cousins.
Yeah, I was either going to say even Juddy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind just running around with Juddy.
What if he cost you your spot, though? How'd you get?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd probably allow that.
I'd be happy to watch him. Yeah.
That's the true Eagle supporter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go to the second one. So, which Eagle would you like to live with? And you can pick, age. I mean, you're not living with 34-year-old Josh Kennedy.
Yeah.
You can-
At the club now?
yes, in your current
Who
list.
would I live with? Oh,
In their prime.
I'm probably going to go...
Don't pick Oz. It'll be the sexual
Nah, I
tension
can't
in this
do it.
room would be
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that'd be a bit weird. That's a tough one. Maybe... Yeah, let me come back to that. Maybe Duggo.
Duggo's a great one.
Good answer.
He's one of the
I reckon
great men.
Duggo.
Good answer.
So,
Yeah.
question 3.
You got his 2 dogs, though. You handle them?
Yeah, no, I love dogs.
He loves dogs. Number 3, who's not rooming with you on footy trip? And I know the answer's not me because we roomed together
We
on
did.
last year's footy trip
Yeah.
and it went well with our door getting kicked in and we had to spend the last 2 nights with no door. No, we cannot talk about it on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we'll probably leave it at that, I reckon.
But
Whose fault was it?
not ours. Let's just
Yeah,
say
I can't
that.
say.
That's all I need.
Wasn't it?
Can't
That's
say,
all I
not
need.
ours.
That's all I need.
So who wouldn't you want to room with?
There's probably a few, to be honest now. Maybe... maybe Baz.
Yeah,
So that's Rhett Bazzo.
Nah,
Bailey Williams.
Okay.
Baz.
Why is that?
I just think,
big smelly.
yeah, it might just be, it'd probably just be a bit annoying, probably get under your skin, just jokes all the time, and yeah.
That's enough reasons, I reckon. So, ultimatum. Would you have rathered a 92 premiership for your dad, but it would mean no West Coast games for you? What are you picking?
Oh, God, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I was proud of
Good
it.
question.
Whatever.
I don't know what the right answer here
Is there a balloon, right?
Got to pick one, mate.
3, 2.
I'll be selfish and say,
Yeah, great answer.
I'd rather be fine now.
Have some, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, Oz, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you go,
What was your kind of first mad dog moment that you had of I'm an AFL player? It's just that would only happen to me being an AFL player. And the only reason I thought of this, we're doing 92 podcast reminiscings at the moment in the room next door.
Yeah.
And they're telling me they've won a flag, but they're telling me about I think Rue was saying he got done speeding 3 times in the one trip and got let off autographs. Have a good game, Rue, just drive safe. Have you had one of those moments?
Not to that extent, but I think probably just getting free stuff, getting DM on
free
Insta,
stuff.
and just getting offered clothes and
It's just blatantly
protein.
giving me free things.
Yeah,
It's
and I'm
nice.
just what is going on? Why is this? Why all of a sudden you start getting everything for free?
All right, what's your favourite movie? TV show / music artist.
One of y'all say it again without it hard.
Toy.
What's your favourite movie, TV show, or music artist? I only want one, and it can only be one of either of those three. So, like, if there's a movie that is so far above the others, it's the movie. If there's an artist, it's like, he's the one for me. Or is it a TV show?
I do love my movies, so I'm going to say probably Batman Dark Knight.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I love that.
One of the best.
Yeah.
I'll go again, mate. What is your ideal date?
Oscar's taking notes.
I need him.
Oh,
No, I don't.
probably.
Love you, Lorna.
Well, you can borrow my van because my van's.
I can't wait to get
Part
on the
of
van.
it.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the
Okay.
van later.
So it's probably just, cruising down the coast somewhere,
Cruising down the
parking
street.
out, getting a pizza or something, watching the sunset.
It's pretty
Good
good,
life.
Westy. Pretty
Good
good.
life.
So what suburb are you living in? For the people not wanting to stalk you too hard, just give me a general vicinity, not a street name.
I'm in Craigiefornia.
Okay.
like to call it.
Yeah.
Now, where would you prefer to live in Perth?
Ooh, probably
If you're pulling in Mad Dog Gov money.
probably Trig. Yeah,
lovely.
Trig's just
Good answer. Good answer. What dish can you best cook?
Probably the Sri Lankan coconut curry.
Sri Lankan. Nice.
Yep.
And who would you rather be, JK or Nick Nat?
I don't know. Maybe Nick.
I'd be JK.
Why? Why Nick? Why Nick?
Oh,
You want more free stuff?
yeah, that, and I don't know, just got a bit of swagger and a bit of confidence that not many
has
people
no
have.
confidence.
It's okay, a bit of a bookworm.
Well, no, JK just he's just your
He's just himself.
Aussie,
Yeah.
a bit of a dad, sort of,
Is that what you love about it? The down to earth, or do you want to not be stopped at petrol stations or everywhere you go? I remember running into Nick at a big day out, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And I saw him again half an hour later. He goes, "I got to go. This was a terrible idea."
That's the thing. Nick's life is Nick is almost in Australia compared to any other athlete in their country there of residence. He is more recognisable. Like, he's more recognisable in Australia than LeBron James is in America. Because LeBron James can put on a beanie and a big jacket and you go away. Nick puts on a beanie. He's still 6'8", which stands out against the rest of Australia generally with how tall he is. Plus, he's got his long dreads. You can't hide them.
Yeah.
I'd rather be JK just because he's like...
I might change my vote now. I'll
Too
probably
late,
go
mate.
JK.
It's locked in. It's locked
So
in.
before we get into some more questions, should we talk about the Sir Douglas Nichols round? Which
Yeah, I
is
think we
round
should.
11 and 12.
Yeah, so it's a dual round for the teams that want to have a home game and celebrate Sir Doug Nichols round. So it is celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture and contributions to the game. So it's the 30th year of the Mabo decision. I think Chance Bateman, who's got a role here at the club as an Indigenous liaison mentor type situation, he was explaining the Mabo case. For those that don't know, it's kind of acknowledging First Nations people being dispossessed of the land, and the legal action being abolished, saying that it's no longer no man's land, which I think they were referring to it as before Mabo. Anyway, it's a very fascinating read if you want to get down to it. What else is going on in terms of cultural awareness or sort of celebrations through the week, or is it being saved for next week for the home game? What's going on amongst the four walls for you boys?
I think a lot of it, so obviously Changa spoke to us about the importance it has for him and the other Indigenous and Torres Strait Islander First Nations people. I think he mentioned this year the theme is more about Torres Strait Islanders and the impact they've had on the game. We're doing a lot more next week. So next week we've got a home game. So throughout the week there'll be a number of ceremonies and a number of stories being told. And there'll also be we'll wear the jumper next week and there'll be a transaction of a gift with the Western Bulldogs. So I think next week's going to be more celebrated than it is this week because we're playing away.
Yeah.
And the jumper looks sick. Obviously,
It looks
saw it
awesome.
last
Yeah,
year.
cool.
Love the look of it. Don't know if you've seen the Indigenous jumpers for Richmond and Essendon.
Clash.
They're
Yeah.
big time clashing,
I did
man.
say that. What are they going to do? Are they going to just roll with it?
What else are you going to do? You can't ask
too
them.
late now.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but good luck to you. But Samo Petreski-Seaton actually spoke to the media. Go and have a look at his interview. It's on the West Coast Eagles website. Need the traffic, get it up there. So I think that's probably coming to the end of the podcast. Is there anything... Oh, we didn't cover my 5th grade game of footy, which was an all-timer.
We didn't.
All-timer.
Give me a
You want to hear about that?
Give me a quick
we-
synopsis because we've got some fan-written questions in
All right.
here.
So 19th hole, playing golf. Got a text. COVID's ravaged the North Beach Footy Club. They're going through the teledex of past has-beens, and they're like, yeah, okay. Mate, do you want to come play some 5th grade? I'm like, oh, wow.
Before you tell the story anymore, do you think Thumper was a good footballer? Yes or no?
Yes.
How do you? What makes you think that by
just-
looking at him?
There would be
His
nothing
physique,
to
number one.
Good gag.
No, I've just heard great things.
So you're right.
Give him a rundown, mate.
You're right. Nah. Few flags.
He won best on one day, and watching the footage, from all reports, he's paid the umpires because he's had 4 touches.
Mate, played on a wing, shook my opponent's hand, said, have a good one. Didn't see him again. So, anyway, committed to this game. I'm like, couple of beers deep. Yeah, I'll just have a run on a wing. 5th grade. Like, I haven't gone for a lap in 5 years. I'm like, yeah, I'll play some 5th grade on a wing. No dramas.
I kick the ball at the club all the time. I'll be fine.
Correct. Kicking with my 6-year-old in the living room. What could change? Didn't look at the forecast.
Oh, piss.
Oh, no.
5 p.m. bounce. You remember what it was doing at 5 p.m.? The answer's plenty. So it's a Careen open space. Oh, mate, it was terrible.
Spongy deck
Careen
too.
open space.
It's big ground.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Suited to your abilities.
yeah. So first and a cross breeze, major cross breeze. Anyway,
better.
You
Out
can't
on the
kick
wing.
it far anyway.
the
Red
ball
wing.
the ball was so waterlogged at the end of the day. Anyway, first quarter, the first time I touched the ball, someone's clobbered me in the head, blood in the mouth. I'm just
Did you get a free kick?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking, what am I doing here? This was a terrible decision.
How'd you go?
We got done by 12 goals. And here's the highlight of the day. So I was absolutely gassed. Played the whole first quarter on the field. And everything's relative. Like 5th grade footy, you're like, oh, well, it's 5th grade. It's no different from AFL because your benchmark of how far you need to run, it's all relative to how fit you are.
Yeah.
You know, like you've just got to keep running from contest to contest. Like being out of shape and like I'm hurting. I can't hurt anymore.
I reckon you can.
Probably.
I reckon you
I
can.
probably could have got to a few more contests. Anyway, so 4th quarter, we're getting absolutely dinsed. It's sheeting down. I can't see. Ended up getting the ball in the forward 50, ducked a tackle. It was pretty. Inside feed to some kid I've never met. He's gold. He's proceeded to turn around, I'm not joking, give it the double Cobra celebration. We're 12 goals down.
I didn't realise I was playing.
And then he's walked past me and gone to his position.
How old would he be?
Mid-20s. And I thought, what am I doing
If
here?
he's mid-20s and playing 5th grade, it sums him up.
Yeah.
5th grade's for guys who are like,
There are a few young guys in there, but they're doing their best.
Yeah,
They're doing
yeah.
their best. Anyway, I'll never play again. It was terrible.
That's awesome. So we've got a couple fan questions. The first one is these are for you, Westy, not for you, Thumper.
Sure.
Treen22, do you have any pre-game rituals, mate?
I just like to go down to the beach and get my cough.
Just a
Have a
cool
swim.
dude.
Morning of.
Yeah, morning off.
What are you doing away games?
Well, if I can't do that, just go for a walk.
Do you
Still
jump in
like
the
to
pool at the hotel or not?
Yeah, I tend to jump in the pool. Yeah, swim a few laps. But yeah, mainly it's just getting good coffee.
You take the van down there, so there's no van-related questions, but it's a serious beast of a vehicle that you're
Yeah,
sporting
it
around. So
is.
tell us a bit about it and some of the journeys you might have been on.
Well, his name is Mav, number one. So,
Nav Weller, shout out to you.
but no, he's a Mitsubishi Express 4-wheel drive. So it's a pretty rare beast. But he's going strong. He's done 270-odd thousand Ks. Hopefully he's got plenty more in the tank. And we've got a few more journeys ahead of us.
So
love
off-season?
story.
It is.
Take it somewhere in the off-season?
Yeah, I'm trying to plan maybe going up north, try and get it to Exmouth if he doesn't crumble.
So that was that was another question from Ben Williams, and his question was, "Where's your go-to camping spot within 4 hours of Perth?" We can extrapolate that and just say, "Where's your go-to camping spot?"
Go-to is we counting Denmark? That's 4 hours.
oh, yeah.
Or Stirling Range? Denmark.
You camping
Parry
at the
Beach.
front of my mum and dad's place, or
Yeah,
what?
well, yeah, that's probably actually that's up there. But I think I'm gonna go with Parry.
Parry's
Parry
nicer.
Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
Max Warren's hit a topic that has divided the panel. Chocolate in fridge or in cupboard?
In fridge.
That's my boy.
Nah, cupboard.
That's my boy.
No.
Dylan Goddard. Who did you support when you were a kid?
West Coast.
You.
Were you turbo, like never miss games?
Yeah, probably early on, and then the older I got,
You stop
Yeah.
caring. Not,
Yeah,
I
you
don't want to say caring, but like when you're playing high level footy,
yeah,
you're like,
it's too much footy.
I'm playing against these guys when I'm playing East Perth or West
Yeah.
Coast Waffle. I can't be like fanboying them.
Yeah.
Will you watch other AFL games going on in the round?
Yeah, on TV, I will. Yeah, if it's like Friday night footy or I don't know Saturday morning, if there's something, if I'm not doing anything. But I'm not like glued to it, watching every single game of the round.
And what was the sort of peak supportership year of West Coast footy where you were following it? Was it 05, 06?
Yeah, the premiership years.
Happy days.
Yeah.
You want me to go again?
Yeah, you go, mate.
We've asked about the West Perth drafted. Who'd you support as a kid? Best thing about playing for the Eagles, free stuff.
Free
We've got that
protein.
one. Yeah. This is from Kyle Bentley. How do you deal with teammates being jealous of the hair? Because you got a few
You get
down.
very little about it, eh? You don't
Yeah.
get, no one really, for someone with
haven't-
a,
So many hair questions on Instagram.
it's always
Wow.
tied up. I reckon that's why it's tied up
Yeah.
often away from the training field.
Yeah, I got the man bun going at the moment, just with the hat. I think I don't know what it is. I just like it.
Oh,
But
But it's hiding it, Westy.
Yeah,
it's hiding it. But then it I unleash it game day. So, it builds up during the week and then, yeah.
Do you do anything special to it, or it's just?
Nah, it's probably just a mix of salt water and sweat. Yep. I'm starting to wash it now once a month though. So I'm trying to get that down to every 2 weeks.
Nice. I didn't realise I wrote in a question from Big Dog 1169. How much has a proper AFL preseason helped you this year compared to last year, coming into the mid-season and not really knowing the structures or not having that training base behind you?
Oh, massively. It just gives you that background of fitness and I guess the game plan. You can study it a lot more, get to know the boys better, and it's helped me massively.
Makes sense. Last question. Michael Blythe, 18. If you could time travel, would you go back or forward?
I'd go back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why?
I think the 80s and I reckon I would have loved it back then. Suits my style.
I'd go forward and put some massive punts on when I return. Then I'd be in Westie's Trig Dreamhouse.
That's true. Sorry, final question from Cooper Brown. Big improvement so far this year. Any specific changes you made in the off-season? And I know there are a couple because we trained a little bit in this off-season and you ran me ragged. And I had to use the fact I had surgery as an excuse, but really I just am not as fit as you.
So you blew up Oscar's foot. Are you the reason?
You're the reason I haven't played yet.
Yes.
God.
Potentially down at Carino.
I'll be hitting you up for some reimbursements.
What was the actual question?
So what you've had some big. You had obviously you've improved.
Yeah.
What changes did you make? And I know one of them was working closely with the strength and conditioning coach you had at West Perth.
Yeah, Corey Green. He's been massive for me over the last 5 years, but especially this year. Just with that strength program, he just shout out to him if anyone's looking for a great gym and good coach. And then even just Langers, I sort of lashed onto Langers because I like the way he went about it, just how professional he was.
Who's that?
Zach Langdon.
Gotcha.
Just like elite training standards. And I was like, I'm probably not at the level where most midfielders are in the AFL, and how can I get there quickly was probably, following someone like him who just was the fittest at the club at the time. And yeah.
Are your calves looking more like his now?
Probably bigger, I reckon.
One less wolf.
Yeah, nowhere near.
Awesome. You ready for this, Oz? So if you can't ask any questions to our fans on the horizon, get onto the email address.
No way.
asktheboys@wce.com.au.
Let's go. Ask the boys.
Ask the boys.
.com
at WCE.
At WCE.com.
That's .au.
Send some emails in, ask us some questions, and they will be answered.
Mint.
Westy, thank you, mate. For those questioning our commitment, it's Tuesday, which is supposed to be a half day. It is currently 5 p.m. and we were here at 8 o'clock. So thank you, Westy. You're a legend.
It's been a pleasure, boys. Thanks for having me.